Okay, this video is 80 westbound. I just left the inspection station and the weigh station. Basically just Truckee. We call it Truckee. And I think if you guys Google Truckee weigh station, you guys can see what I'm leaving right now. So it's got the old signal on. I'm empty, so I'm just gonna cruise along here and just film maybe 5-10 minutes so you guys can see what it's like if you guys have never been out here. It's July 2021. It's super hot, but it's early in the morning right now, so it's like 85 degrees. Perfect. You know, and being empty, you know, I can go up the hills rather fast, and once you get to the top up here, you're gonna see a ski resort called Boreal. And from there, you know, you should pull over, check your brakes, just make sure your truck is safe, because basically from the top of the Sierra Mountains here all the way down into Roseville, Sacramento, it's all downhill. And you don't want to ride your brakes. You know, use your, you can call it Jake brake, call it your compression brakes. You know, use the torque of your engine to, you know, keep you not going 800 miles an hour down. And frying your brakes, nothing's worse than your brakes on fire. They smell, and on top of that, you can definitely lose control if you have to go on one of those gravel off ramps. Man, is that expensive. Yeah, that's something your company doesn't want you to do. And if you're an owner operator, I won't tell you how much it costs to get out of there, but I know it's thousands of bucks. So all right, well, next 4 exits, yeah, you can see this is Truckee. It's kind of a cool little town. Off to the left is, well, Donner Lake is coming up. And off to the left as well is, oh, what's it called? Lake Tahoe. That's right, Donner Lake, Donner Pass, the Donner family. They got a whole canyon named after them. But I'll just film for like, you know, 10 minutes. In the wintertime, obviously it's a whole different ball game. You know, you gotta have your chains on. And I don't know, I mean, it snows a lot right here, but they do a good job of keeping these roads scraped, and I don't know what they use. You know, I know it's not really salt, so to speak, but whatever that stuff is that melts away the snow and the ice, they try to do the best they can on this road, because this is a main way, you know, from the Midwest into Northern California. And in the truck biz, I mean, just tons of produce. You know, you guys have all probably been to Oakland and Madera, Lodi, Tracy, you know, big trucking hubs. So they got to keep this freeway open. So yeah, if you're just joining the video, this is the 80 westbound, Truckee, California, heading over the Sierra Mountains, and you can see them in the distance right in the middle of my screen here. So we're gonna go over the top of those. When you get to the top, there is a little area where you can sleep or take a rest break. You're supposed to check your brakes, you know, get out, kind of kick your tires a little bit, make sure your truck's nice and safe, because once you start going down into Sacramento, it's downhill 90% of the way, which 30 miles, I mean, it just goes down and down and down. I'm in a brand new Peterbilt. It's a 589. I got a 12-speed automated tranny, and I've got the transmission that has 4 levels of, you know, compression braking, or basically just using your engine torque to kind of keep you at a nice safe speed while you're going downhill. I use it all the time. You know, you can use your gears as well, and obviously your foot brake. You know, just put your big old foot on the brake and tap it now and then, but you don't want to ride them all the way down. Nothing's worse than catching your brakes on fire, losing your brakes altogether. That can be a nightmare, as you guys know. But with today's technology, you know, they've come a long way since the old days. Yeah, right there to the right, you can see Lake Tahoe exit 89. Like I tell everybody, if you win Powerball, if you got about 10, 15 million, maybe 50 million, you can move to Lake Tahoe. That is one badass town to live in if you got the bucks. All right, so I just usually just get in the slow lane. Even though I'm empty, I can basically go as fast as a car, but you get real tempted to go 60, 65, 75. And you just got to watch it. Any trucker will tell you in California, it's just a crapshoot. Sometimes you can drive 65 all day long and no one will care. And on another day, you'll see 50 trucks pulled over by the highway patrol. You know, because in the entire state of California, it's 55. And that's one of the reasons why most truckers, they don't like to drive in California, because you got to drive so slow. But, you know, it is what it is. It's been 55 forever. They're never going to change it. So if you come to California, just try to get over that curve of hauling ass. Just, you know, maybe go up to 58. I know most truckers go up to 60 miles an hour. You know, that 5 mile an hour break, I think most police officers here in California will kind of give you that break. Because sometimes your GPS and your speedometer, you know, they're not 100% accurate. So I think most police officers will let you go maybe 3 to 5 miles an hour over the speed limit. But if you're going 65 or 70, they're definitely going to give you a ticket. So if you're new to trucking, you know, if you're going slow, just put on your flashers. You know, just for safety. It's not really for other truckers. It's mostly for cars. You know, now with everybody kind of texting and not really paying attention, sometimes when you have your flashers on, it just makes the public just realize that you are going about 45 miles an hour, and sometimes a lot slower than that. All the highway patrol up here, they're not in cars. If you guys have noticed, they're all in SUVs, like the new Fords and a lot of those Tahoes, and some of them are even Suburbans. They're all black and white. So just watch your speed. But you can see the sign right there. It just says all vehicles when towing 55. You know, even if you're in a Suburban towing your boat, they want you at 55. Which, if you watch my videos all day, you'll see that most of the public goes about 85. So, yeah, there's what you should do, and then there's the real world. But when you're trucking, it's up to your budget. It's up to how many speeding tickets you want before you lose your job or lose your CDL. But I've got 1 million plus miles under my belt and no accidents or nothing. So one thing I learned is just get used to the speed limit. Try not to haul ass everywhere. It's just less pressure of getting that speeding ticket. Your first one, like if you're watching this and you're new to trucking, but when you get your first speeding ticket, you're gonna have a fit. The best advice I have, and not that I am a great teacher or one to give advice, but if you're speeding in a semi-truck, you know, you're supposed to have your seatbelt on, you're supposed to know the speed limit. There's nothing you can say to get yourself out of a ticket than being honest. And I think that's the way to go, is just be honest, admit that you were probably speeding. Don't question this or try to get in a verbal fight. But if you are speeding, it's probably just to be honest and say, you know, it's been a long day. And I'll admit, these semi-trucks are so quiet now because, you know, with the aerodynamics and the weather stripping, and, you know, the engines can be rather loud, but most new trucks, you know, there's not even exhaust. If you notice, there is no big stacks. There's not that big, massive, you know, stacks with black smoke like the old days. I mean, if you climb underneath your truck, your exhaust is only about 1 or 2 feet long. So semi-trucks are rather quiet, but it's so easy to go 70, 80 miles an hour in these trucks, or faster, you know, depending on what company you work for, or if you're an owner-operator and you don't have it restricted. But I think the bigger companies try to keep you at what, about 65, 68. Some smaller companies, you know, they just want to get you across America, so they govern you maybe at 72 to 75. A lot of the cattle trucks, I know my cattle buddies, they all go 80. You know, and that's when it's legal, of course. Don't go 80 in a 55. You'll learn the hard way. But yeah, the slower you go, obviously you're going to get better fuel mileage. So all right, we're getting near the top. You can see the mountains. You know, it's real nice looking. Donner Lake, you can't really see, but off to the left, you know, if I had like what are those arms, a selfie stick, I guess I should mount one maybe on the outside of my truck and have a remote control. You could really get a good view. But you know, when you're driving, you know, you can see a lot of cool stuff. When you're going the opposite, going east on the 80, you can't miss Donner Lake and everything else, because when you're going the opposite way, you're way far down. If you notice here, if you look off, you know, we're way up, but you're a lot farther down when you're going backward towards Reno. So you can see a lot more of the lake and stuff like that. But yeah, if you're going like 45 or slower, just put on your hazards. I'll start going slower. I'm not gonna pass everybody. Yeah, I just kind of blend in. But I'd recommend, you can see the truck in front of me, he's going about 40. I just put on my flashers. And if you forget to, you know, I mean, that's definitely understandable. But like I said, when you got your flashers on, it's mostly to remind the public that we're going super slow. Most of us truckers know, because, you know, we're all going about the same speed. But I'm empty right now, and that's why I can go as fast as a car uphill. So I'm just going to pass these guys. You know, they're going about maybe 40, maybe 45 in the slow lane. I'm just going to keep it at 55 in the middle. Then you'll see some truckers going 70. So there's a guy like right now passing me. Like, I'm going 55 right now, and look at this guy on the left of me right here. You know, he obviously has Lucky Charms, and man, he's got to get those Lucky Charms to Albertsons as fast as he can, you know. So yeah, nothing like going 70 miles an hour uphill in California. Because when you tell the policeman you got Lucky Charms in the back, and by God, they got to be there by noon or you're fired, I'm sure that police officer is going to give a rat's ass as he gives you a $1,000 ticket. So, but it's up to you. If you want a speeding ticket, you guys know how to get them. Lord knows I've had to buy my way out of a couple of them. It's where you call those guys in the back of the trucker magazines, and a lot of states don't, you know, buy into that, but some you can. You know, if you have a pretty decent record, you can negotiate where if you go 6 months to a year without a ticket, they will get rid of the speeding ticket. You know, most people refer to them like they turn them into parking tickets, and I guess in the old days, I mean, that's kind of what they did. But right now, if you do get a speeding ticket, just be honest. Call the court system and see if they will give you a break, because sometimes they will. You know, if the judge thinks you have a pretty good driving record and you can go 6 months to a year without any nonsense, they will not put the points towards your company or your personal driving record, and that's way nice. That's a big favor, especially if you have a CDL, you know, a Class A license, you're driving semis. Here's the first rest area. So if you're just joining the video, I'm going westbound on the 80. This is a great place. I stay here all the time. And in the daytime, there's tons of rest area, or I'm sorry, semi-truck parking. I mean, it's for the public too, but they have a lot of semi-truck parking. Yeah, it's kind of nice. You're up here. This is called Donner Summit. Yeah, walk around, get out of your truck. I know sometimes you get addicted to just staying in your truck, even when you're doing a 10-hour break or just kind of kicking back for an hour or two. But yeah, get out of your truck, look around a little bit. It's way nice up here. There's never any smog. And you know, here it is July and it's already 80, 85 degrees on the top of a mountain. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool when it's hot. All right, off to the left is a ski resort called Boreal. Can you guys see? I tilt the camera a little bit, but yeah, that's a ski resort. It's kind of fun. I don't ski anymore. I'm scared to death. I'll break my head open. And then on the other side of the mountain there is Squaw Valley and Lake Tahoe. Okay, this is where we start just going down. So what I do is since I have the 12-speed automated transmission, I just go ahead and put 3 positions down. That means I got all 6 cylinders. I run a Cummins. So I run the 900 cubic inch. You can see that guy, he's got obviously cocoa pebbles on the back. So, going 75 miles an hour with his cocoa pebbles, man, that guy's got an important job. But yeah, just take your time. I just stay in the slow lane, of course, unless there's another driver going really slow, and that's cool. Some drivers are new. We all had to start somewhere. So if you're a new driver, don't ever be embarrassed. If you've got full compression brakes on and you're going like 25 to 30, if that's what you feel safe in, then do it. Don't give a shit about other drivers, other truckers yelling at you. Turn your CB down. You're always going to have some trucker named Billy that knows everything about everything, and he's going to drive 80 miles an hour with his goddamn Albertsons loads or who knows what. But yeah, don't let other drivers intimidate you where you feel like you're being unsafe, going up or down or driving anywhere. So if you look ahead, you can see there's a Walmart guy, CRST. Let's see, CRST's out of Iowa if I remember right. And yeah, the Walmart drivers, they're pretty good. You gotta have a pretty decent record with Walmart, and they're pretty strict. So usually when you see Walmart drivers, they do everything pretty much by the book. So yeah, if you're joining my video right now, Westbound 80, thanks for watching my videos. I just kind of narrate a little bit, just chit chat when I drive here, and you guys can kind of see what the real road is like. I know with truck driving school, or you can watch a bunch of high produced video about certain things, either just traveling the country or maybe about trucking in general. But the best way to learn trucking is just get in a truck and just do it, and just be safe, and then everything else will come. Backing up, how to manage your day, how to do this and do that, that'll all come to you organically. But right now it's somewhat steep right here, but I just have my engine brakes on. I got when I say I got an automated transmission, it's like an automatic. And don't think torque converter in a Suburban, but I'd say 85% of all brand new trucks are now automated transmissions. They're just, they're faster, believe it or not, and they get better fuel mileage, and they're more expensive, but it's just the way it is. Automated transmissions are here to stay, and they're not going anywhere. But if you got a 9, 10, my favorite is a 18-speed manual. I love that tranny. But if you have an automated transmission, they're safe. I do double tankers, I've done snow, I've been in every extreme driving position the last 10 years, and I'm just as safe in an automated transmission as I am in my 18-speed. But it comes down to just taking your time. Don't feel intimidated where you have to see all these other drivers blowing by at 65 to 75. Just take your time, put your flashers on, and if you have a Jake brake system, or the term now is just compression brakes, and it's like the torque of your engine. On an automated transmission, on the right side of your steering wheel or on the middle of your dash, you'll hit a button. You usually got 3 positions. Level 1 is just 2 pistons on your engine. So if you have a Cummins 6-cylinder, and most people, there's like the old Cat engines, they quit making those years ago, but Cummins and Detroit, what is there, Western Star, Packer, but there's only a handful of engines that are even available anymore in the trucking biz. My personal favorite, I've had great luck with Cummins. I love the torque curve. You can rev those things up. Mine's right around 900 cubes. It's pulling about 2,100 pounds of torque. And goes 75, 80 miles an hour, and I average about 6.5 to 7 to the gallon. You know, and when you're going 75 miles an hour, you're going to eat up fuel. You can get better than that if you want to go slower, but with the Cummins, they got a good torque curve, so when I'm going down these steep hills like this, they've got a lot of torque when you put full compression brake mode in effect. And I haven't even hit the brakes once right now. I mean, the engine's easily holding back the weight of this truck. I think empty, I'm like 30, I think I weigh about 37,500 empty, something like that. But if you're at 80,000 pounds, obviously you're gonna use more braking techniques. Can't escape gravity. 80,000 likes to haul ass downhill. So 5% grade, 3 more miles. You'll see tons of signs. There's lots of turnoffs. Right here you can't really park and relax. This is for chaining. Mostly, you'll just see people chaining, but that's obviously in the winter time. But there's plenty of rest stops where you can rest, sleep, go to the bathroom, you know, just stretch your legs. There's plenty of the off ramps where if you lose control, you can go on gravel and pay yourself a lot of money to get out of those darn things. All right, so this is basically Truckee. This is like the top of the Sierra Mountains. So when I started driving this morning, I was in Reno. I'm just heading over to Northern California now through Sacramento. So this video started off right at the weigh station and the inspection station in Truckee, California. And, you know, it takes about an hour or so to go from Truckee into Sacramento. And it's mostly like this the whole way. Just, you know, really nice twists and turns, tons of lakes and trees to look at. And you'll get about 30 miles per gallon because you really don't even need the throttle almost the whole way because it's all downhill. So all right, well, I'll end the video now. I like to make my videos not so darn long, but yeah, thanks for watching. If you've been watching this whole video, I just realized it's going 20 minutes, so I like to keep them at like 10 minutes or less. But I'll once I get to the bottom here, I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like going into Roseville, into Sacramento. All right, well, thanks for watching my videos. You guys take care, be safe, and like and subscribe and do all that other fancy crap on the old YouTube channel, all right? All right, take it easy, guys. I'll see you guys later.